You know that moment in exam season where you look at your notes folder and it's like 27 separate notebooks, a rainbow of highlighters, and still no actual memory in your brain? That was me. I was rewriting notes, making them prettier, organizing them, and then bombing questions I'd literally recopied the night before. This video is about the method that finally fixed that. It's the no notes method, an active recall only way to study so you stop rewriting the same stuff and actually start remembering it. Let's be real. Rewriting notes feels productive. You're busy, the page looks cleaner, your pen is moving. But here's the problem. Most of the time, rewriting is still passive review. You're copying what you see, not testing what you know. Research comparing active recall to passive rereading finds that self-testing can almost double how much you remember versus just going over notes again. Other studies on practice tests show students who quiz themselves regularly can retain around 15 to 20% more and score higher on real exams than those who only read or rewrite notes. So here's what was happening to me, and probably to you. You rewrite a chapter. You feel familiar with it. In the exam, the question looks familiar, but you can't actually produce the answer. That's the illusion of learning. Your brain recognizes the page, but it never had to pull the info out on its own. So if rewriting is mostly vibes, what do you replace it with that actually works? The no notes method is simple. You stop spending time making prettier notes. You spend almost all your study time answering questions from memory. That's active recall. Instead of rereading, you hide the content. Ask yourself a question. Try to answer without looking. Evidence from revision research calls active recall and practice testing some of the highest impact techniques for long-term learning and exam performance. Because every time you force your brain to retrieve information, those memory pathways get stronger. So think of it like this. Rewriting equals tracing someone else's drawing. Active recall equals drawing it from scratch. Okay, cool theory. But how do you turn no notes into an actual system for your subjects? First, you only write questions, not new notes. Grab your existing notes or textbook once and do a conversion session. Read a small chunk. Turn it into questions. Then stop looking at the notes. Types of questions. What is? Definitions. Why does? Cause and effect. How do you? Step-by-step processes. Explain this diagram as an example in your own words. You can put these on flashcards, physical or digital. In a notes app is a big list. On a single sheet split into questions and answers. The key rule from now on, you mostly interact with questions, not paragraphs. You're building your own mini exam paper instead of a pretty summary. Here's how a no notes study block actually looks. Pick a topic, e.g. cell division, World War I causes, integration basics. Test first. Cover the answers. Ask a question out loud or in your head. Try to answer it without peeking, only then check. Compare your answer to the real one. Fix or add any missing parts. This attempt feedback loop is what research calls the testing effect. It boosts long-term retention way more than reading the same information again. A 30-minute session might be 20 minutes, cycling through questions on one topic. 10 minutes, fixing weak answers, adding 1 to 2 new questions if needed. No rewriting full pages. Just brutal honesty. Can I answer this or not? But what if you feel like you don't know enough yet to test yourself? When a topic feels brand new or scary, do this. Spend 10 minutes reading or watching an explanation. Then spend 20 minutes on active recall questions. Not the other way around. Studies on active learning show that even early imperfect attempts at recall help you remember more than extra time passively consuming the material. Even when you get things wrong, the moment you correct yourself locks the right answer in better. So don't wait until you finish the chapter to start recall. Start small, fail a bit, learn faster. You're training your brain that the default after learning is testing, not rewriting. Think about how much time you currently spend rewriting notes, highlighting everything, making aesthetic spreads. Take that chunk of time and swap it for recall blocks. Example daily plan, 25 minutes. Active recall on topic A, flashcards or question list. 5-minute break, 25 minutes. Practice questions or past paper items on topic B. Evidence on practice testing shows that regular low-stakes quizzes can reduce test anxiety and boost scores because your brain gets used to retrieving under mild pressure. You can still have a single summary sheet if you want, but instead of rewriting whole lectures, you only add stuff you missed in recall. Keep it as short bullet points or diagrams. Your notes become the backup, not the main event. Active recall is powerful, but what about math, essays, or subjects that feel less flashcardable? For science, facts-heavy subjects, turn definitions, processes, and diagrams into Q&A. Practice drawing key diagrams from memory, then check. Use mini explain like I'm 12. Prompts, explain photosynthesis to a kid. For math, problem-heavy subjects. Active recall here equals solve without looking at the steps. Pick a question you've already seen. Cover the worked solution. Try to complete it cold. Only then look at the model answer. Research on practice tests shows that working through similar problems before the exam gives big gains in accuracy and timing. For essays, humanities, use question prompts like, how would I answer this 10-mark question? Spend 5 to 10 minutes planning an answer from memory. Intro plus 2 to 3, main points plus examples. Then compare with your notes or a model essay and patch gaps. You're still not rewriting full paragraphs. You're training your brain to retrieve structure and key ideas on demand. One of the best parts of the no-notes method, it exposes your weak spots fast. Create a simple red list. Every time you can't answer a question, star it or move it to a weak column. End of the session, you've got a mini list of stuff to hit again tomorrow. Studies on practice testing highlight that one major benefit is identifying gaps. So revision time goes where it matters most. So instead of rewriting every topic evenly, you spend more recall time on the red list. Spend less on stuff you consistently get right. That's how your grades jump. You stop wasting time on what you already know and attack the holes. Cool system. But how do you start using this without nuking your whole current routine overnight? Here's how to test this in a low-stress way. Day 1. Pick the subject that hurts most, the one you rewrite notes for the most. Day 2 to 3. Build a small question bank. 20 to 30 questions max from one chapter. Mix definitions, why, and how questions. Day 4 to 6. Do one 25-minute recall block per day. Test yourself only from that question bank. No rewriting, just answer, check, fix, star weak ones. Day 7. Do a mini test, close everything. Try to write down or say as many answers as you can in 20 to 30 minutes. Then ask yourself, do I remember more than when I was rewriting? Do I actually know where my gaps are now? If the answer is even slightly yes, that's your sign. Your brain is ready to switch from pretty notes to no notes. If you're tired of spending hours rewriting notes that never show up on the exam, it's time to change the game. Your brain doesn't need more ink on paper. It needs more reps of pulling information out on its own. So here's your challenge. Tonight, pick one topic and build 10 questions for it. Tomorrow, spend 20 minutes answering those questions from memory before you touch your highlighters. If you're in for the no notes experiment, comment "test me instead" so you remember to try it. And if you want more simple evidence-based methods that actually move your grades without burning you out, hit subscribe. Let's fix your study habits one smart change at a time.